If you ever want to start your own business, and this also holds true for making an investment, it's all about risk versus reward. And so one of the things that was difficult was assessing the amount of risk that I was going to be taking when I opened up and started the Tommy franchise, here in the Richmond market. So, and that, after college, and then while I was at Davenport for a while, and then I was, lived in Kansas City for a while, and came back. And later in life, I went and I got a master's at VCU in business, and I thought that was great because the finance. There was a great finance professor there, and he helped me quite a bit understand finance and projections, and through that, and just through my own knowledge that I've also accumulated working at Davenport and just understanding investments, I could figure out how to pencil what a car wash might do financially and how the business might perform. But in the back of my mind, I always question, and this is where it goes back to assessing that risk, because you want to make sure that when you're penciling out how you think this business is going to work out, you want to make sure you're really right. Because if you're putting, in our case, my case, putting most everything we had to get this business off the ground and up and running. And so you wanted to make it was a big, big bet. Because if it didn't go well, then it'd be really, really tough. But fortunately, it has gone well. But that's the biggest thing. Is the hardest part was making sure that investment, that initial investment to get into this business, to be an owner of of this particular investment vehicle, essentially, that I calculated that right, and it's worked out well.
So what led you to believe that franchising Tommy's Express was a good idea and was going to end up being successful?
Yeah, so I was, I was in Indianapolis, and I was trading, and my job was institutional bond salesman at Davenport. And so it was really a sales position. I was in Indianapolis one weekend visiting my brother, and the bond business was changing, and maybe not to the degree that I wanted it to change. And so I was looking at other opportunities that I might be able to get involved in. And I always thought about owning my own business. I thought that'd be pretty cool. But I had no clue at all what I wanted to do, or what that might be. Well, I was with my brother. We went in Indianapolis. We went through a car wash called Crew Car Wash, and it was a car wash like I had never seen before. It was extremely well done, extremely clean, great customer service. And then I just, got on the back of an envelope. I started scratching some numbers, projecting like how many cars they might wash, what's the price of each one of those car washes, what would their expenses be, things of that nature. And then, it penciled well enough that I said, well, it might be a really profitable business, so I should look into this further. So then I started to, I went onto the web, and started Googling, car washes, and I wanted to see, where I could find more information about it. And I found Tommy's Express. Tommy's Express is out of Holland, Michigan, and they were newly getting into the franchise business. And so I looked them up and decided to go make a visit, and I visited with them, and they told me about how well the business did, and I got to tour the site, walk the different car washes, see how the technology works, and then they were trying, they wanted me to become a franchisee because they want to try to build their network. They want to be the next Chick-fil-A of the car wash industry is what they want to be, and so. I wasn't going to take their word for it, right? Because they wanted me to participate, invest some money with them, start a car wash business. And so I needed to go do more research, and I needed to find out other people that were an arm lengths away of was this business that good. So I spent a lot of time, I'd fly out to Columbus, Ohio, some other people that had already opened at Tommy's early on. And the thing that really resonated with me is there's a really nice guy named Barry Nutter in Columbus, Ohio, and he shared with me his P&L, or his income statement, which shows you the profitability, your revenue, and your expenses, and how much money you might make. And we talked about the debt service and all kinds of different metrics. But anyway, it showed me after talking to him Tommy's really could be a strong business to own. And then furthermore, the reason why I franchised is because I had, this much knowledge about washing cars. I mean, zero. I didn't know anything about it. And that's okay. Like I didn't wake up saying my life dreams is to wash cars. My life dream is to own a business that can be really, profitable and successful and help others, and you can help the community, and you can, employ other people, give them jobs. Those are all things that are great. And I also wanted to do something that I could be in control of, and create something special. And so that's what I did.
So you mentioned how clean that car wash is. That kind of inspired you to franchise Tommy's. So you've made Tommy's Express pretty unique and like the holiday themes, and that obviously employs a lot more people during like Halloween. What gave you the idea to do that, and how successful has that been?
Yeah, so it was real simple. I have a business partner of mine, and he knew of a car wash that was out in Ohio, and so we got on a plane and flew out there, and we saw that we read an article about it first, and it was that the line was backed up 2 miles. Everybody was trying to go to this haunted car wash, and so we thought, here we are trying to build a brand recognition of Tommy's Express in the Richmond market. So what could we do that would draw a lot of attention and also generate some revenue for us? And so we piggybacked off somebody else's idea, and it's been great because, you when you're trying to market your business, you're trying to differentiate yourself from others, and you got to deliver a message as to how you are different, and you have to get your name out there so people will know who you are, so they'll come to your site. So we set that up, and that's been really successful. People have loved it. First year we did it at Forest Hill, our first location, and there was probably at least we had a half a mile line of cars waiting for us to get through the tunnel.
So how did you go about marketing the Halloween theme and like the Christmas theme? How did you go about doing that to make sure it was well known and people would want to come and enjoy it?
Yeah. So, well, the first thing you do when you own your own business, you got to surround yourself with really good people who are going to work hard and do a really good job. So I don't pretend to be a marketer, but I ended up hiring a guy who would go out and market and advertise, and he dug deep into social media. He'd put things out on Facebook. I know that's old social media, but Instagram. He would do any kind of social media marketing that he possibly could. The other thing we did, which was a great idea, is it's pretty simple, but it worked. We'd buy all of our stuff from Spirit Halloween. You guys familiar with Spirit Halloween? And we'd go in there and we'd spend lots of money to buy our decorations for the Halloween, so we could deck it out. Well, every time we would do that, we'd leave them a stack of advertisements of when we were running our Halloween special. And I'm confident that a lot of folks, came just from that, because they're all Halloween nuts, right? Because if they're going to Spirit Halloween, they love Halloween. So they just picked up our flyer, and that was the deal with Spirit Halloween. We had a handshake deal that, look, we'll buy all this equipment from you, not on Amazon, but we want you to help us promote our event. And they did, and it turned out to be really successful. And so now the idea is to do it, every October.
So we've talked a lot about franchising. For those that are here that may be watching later, can you explain what franchising is for those that may not know? Yeah,
so the franchise is somebody has developed a business model that works, and they want to grow it, but they need partners to grow it, right? Because they may not have all the capital or the expertise to do it. So what they do is they create a business model, and they say, okay, I'll sell this to somebody in Richmond, Virginia, and we'll tell you and train you and sell you all the equipment, give you all the parts, show you all the operations that you need to know to be able to run a successful business. And then you'll own that, and you'll build out that market, right? So we own the Central Virginia market for Tommy's Express. And so really, from my perspective, what I'm buying, and we pay a certain percentage of our revenues goes to the Tommy corporate office, right? What I get from that is I get 50 years of car wash operating experience that these guys have worked in and developed what I think is a great car wash model operationally. So I don't have to know all the details of how to wash a car. I don't have to know all the different, I've learned a lot, but I don't have to know it all, because as what I get out of that franchise is their expertise on how to operate.
So what are the benefits of having your family be a part of Tommy's Express? And in the future, are you looking to maybe sell the business and move on to new franchises?
Yeah, so right now, I to answer the second part of that question, it's I don't have a desire right now to move into a different franchise. More so is how can we build more Tommies, faster. Because it has proven to be a good business model, and so, our goal right now is to try to build 2 a year. As it relates to family, it is, we started off, it was basically just me. In fact, I managed the first store because I didn't know how this business was going to work out, so I was trying to save every dollar I could so I didn't have great expenses. And so I managed it myself. I also managed it because I wanted to know that I understood the business. So if I ever got to a point where the business was doing well, I could step away, hire somebody, and then I had enough knowledge about how it should operate that I could oversee it from afar effectively, right? And so that's what's happened, and it's turned out well. But yeah, my son's done some work for us. My daughter has as well, and it's good to have that camaraderie. Captain was doing books this past weekend. Putting together onboarding books for hiring new employees. My daughter, who was in Boston College, she's studying finance and business right now. She's teamed up with my wife, who also does the accounting for the business, and she helps process payroll for us. So it gives her some experience. It doesn't matter if she's doing payroll, so it doesn't matter what the business is. It's an accounting function, and she's learning something about accounting to see if that may be something that she wants to do. So I really like it from that perspective. It's great.
So on the number side, about how many cars do you think come through on an average day in Tommy's, and are there any specific days where you get a lot more business than usual?
Yeah, so at the Forest Hill location, we average about 650 cars a day. Hall Street opened in July, and there's a ramp-up period, right? So for a brand-new car wash, it takes a little while for it to get established. I think Forest Hill is actually still ramping up. At Hall Street, I think we're washing 325 cars a day. So the biggest volume day we've had, I think it was after a snow event, we did 1,700 cars in a day. And the most we've ever done in an hour, I think, is 155. And that's one of the things we liked about Tommy's, right? We wouldn't have signed up for Tommy's if it wasn't a really streamlined, automated, system. And it is. It's just that. So you can process 150 cars in an hour because it has really great technology. And you can also do it you don't have to have a whole lot of people to do it. Like there's another car wash model, like a Carpool, for instance, in the Richmond market. They're a full-service car wash, so they have towel wipe-down service. I had no interest whatsoever getting into that business model because you got to manage a lot more people, and the cost of that labor is extremely expensive. And the other thing is I recognized the trend in the car washing was moving away from a full-service model and into what we have at Tommy's, which is an express model. And just so you all understand what that is, an express model is you stay in your car. And basically we have a membership model too. So there's technology where you can download an app, set up a membership, and then you pay just like you would Netflix. You pay a monthly subscription, and then you enter your license plate. Every time you enter the car wash, there's a gate there, but we have license plate reader technology. It reads your license plate. If it authenticates that you're a member in good standing, it opens the gate and lets you through. And you get a 3-minute car wash, and then we have free vacuums if you want, free mat washers. And so the nice thing about that is, car washing is one thing, but you're also selling convenience, right? You're selling a membership, so somebody can come and keep their car clean, and if they're a member, it doesn't take them any time. They just drive right up to the gate, it opens, and don't have to talk to anybody if they don't want to. They get their car washed, and then they're on their way.
Can you explain how that membership process worked and how you came up with that idea?
It wasn't my